All right, so today we're going to go a little off the beaten path for this deep dive. You know how we usually look at books and articles?
Yeah.
This time we're diving into a YouTube episode.
Oh, interesting.
It's actually pretty fascinating. The show is called Coffee with Karma. We heard of her, Carma Spence.
The name rings a bell. What does she do?
She's a business coach, and she helps people write and market their books to grow their businesses. Coaches and consultants and that sort of thing.
Okay, yeah, I've seen those kinds of things online.
But this episode is really interesting. The premise is like how to build business authority.
Okay, sure.
But she compares it to being a gladiator.
Wait, what? Like Russell Crowe Gladiator?
Exactly. She actually uses the movie as a framework for her whole presentation.
I'm intrigued, but I don't quite see the connection. How does she tie those two things together? How does she tie those two things together?
Well, she starts by talking about winning over an audience. She compares it to a gladiator captivating the crowd in the Colosseum.
Okay, I can kind of see where she's going with that.
She literally says, win the crowd and you'll win your freedom. It's all about that connection.
Yeah, that makes sense in the context of the movie, but how does that translate to business?
She argues that just like gladiators had to earn the crowd's favor, we need to capture our audience's attention and their loyalty.
So it's not about tricks or going viral. It's about providing real value that keeps people coming back.
Exactly. She talks about understanding your audience's needs so deeply that you create those aha moments where someone feels like you've read their mind.
Oh, I love that feeling. When you come across something and it's like, yes, that's exactly what I needed to hear.
And she actually quotes someone in the video saying, gosh, this person really gets me. It's like they crawled into my head and read my mind.
Okay, now that's powerful.
Yep.
If you can make people feel like that, you're definitely building authority.
And then she takes it a step further. She digs into the importance of speaking with conviction.
Oh, I can already see this is going to be good.
She even quotes the movie. She says, what we do in life echoes in eternity. Talk about high stakes.
Wow, yeah. She's not messing around. But I get it. When you truly believe in what you're saying, it shows.
It's not about being forceful, though.
Right. It's about authenticity.
Right.
It's about that quiet confidence that makes people lean in and listen.
And she makes a point of saying that authenticity doesn't mean you have to spill your guts about every personal detail.
Right. You can still be strategic about what you share.
It's more about being genuine in what you choose to share, choosing the right parts of your story to tell.
So it's less about being an open book and more about choosing the right chapters to reveal.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got the attention-grabbing spectacle. We've got the authentic voice. What's next?
That leads us to lesson number 3, building a loyal legion.
Oh, I like where this is going.
Your tribe of raving fans, just like Maximus inspiring his soldiers.
So now we're talking about building a movement. I'm starting to see how this gladiator analogy comes together.
And she breaks it down in a really practical way.
Yeah.
Like, how do you actually cultivate that deep trust and loyalty in a business context?
Well, delivering on your promises is a big one, right? And having strong ethics.
Definitely. But she also emphasizes clear communication, even when things aren't perfect.
Give me an example. How does she actually walk the walk in her own business?
Well, she talks about a recent knee injury that she's been dealing with. She doesn't go into gory details.
Okay.
But she's upfront about the fact that she's in pain and might be a little slower than usual.
So she's being real with her audience without oversharing.
I like that.
It humanizes her and creates a sense of shared vulnerability.
Yeah, it makes her audience feel like they're in the trenches with her, not just observing from the sidelines.
And that brings us to lesson number 4, which might be the most profound. Fight for what matters.
Ooh, I like that. Let's dive into that one.
She really challenges us to think about our why, our driving force.
And how that connects to a greater purpose.
Right. And she actually says authority is amplified when your mission resonates on a human level.
That makes a lot of sense. People are drawn to those who have a cause they believe in, something bigger than just making a profit.
And she shares her own why here. She says that she's so passionate about helping authors write successful books because she's seen firsthand the pain of those who struggle.
It's clear that she's not just in it for the money. She genuinely cares about her client's success.
Right, and that makes her message all the more compelling because it's fueled by something deeper.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That kind of passion is contagious. It's like a beacon that attracts like-minded people who share your values.
So we've got 4 powerful lessons down. Captivate the audience. Speak your truth. Build a loyal tribe. Fight for what matters. What do you think so far?
I'm really impressed with how she's using this gladiator analogy.
Yeah.
It's so unexpected, But it's working. It's memorable, and it makes you think.
And it's not just about the analogy itself. It's the way she weaves it into practical business advice. It's both entertaining and insightful.
Okay, so 4 lessons down. What's the final piece of wisdom from the Colosseum? This is where she brings in the power of story. Maximus's journey from respected general to enslaved gladiator to vengeful hero. Yeah, it's brilliant because it's not just saying tell your story. She shows how a powerful story, one that resonates with universal themes like loss and resilience, can really captivate an audience.
And inspire action.
Right. It ties back to that authenticity we were talking about. People connect with vulnerability, with seeing the struggles behind the triumphs.
It makes the success feel more earned, more relatable.
But she makes an important point here. She cautions against sharing struggles you're still actively going through.
That's interesting. Why do you think she emphasizes that?
I think she believes you need some distance from the experience to share it from a place of wisdom and insight.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Otherwise, you can come across as seeking sympathy or validation.
Instead of offering valuable lessons.
Exactly.
So it's about framing your story as a testament to your resilience, not a plea for help.
Yeah, it's about highlighting those moments when you stumbled, but you got back up and you emerged stronger.
Those are the stories that make people believe in your ability to guide them.
Because they see that you've been there.
So we've got these 5 gladiator-inspired lessons. Win the crowd, speak with conviction, build a loyal legion, fight for what matters. Share your story. What stands out to you the most?
I'm really struck by how effectively she weaves together this seemingly outlandish source.
Right, a Hollywood blockbuster.
But she makes it work. It's unexpected, it's memorable, and it makes you think.
It's a great reminder that inspiration can come from the most surprising places.
And I think the overarching theme here is authenticity.
Oh, absolutely. That's woven through all 5 of those lessons.
It's about being genuine, being vulnerable, and letting those qualities shine through in your work.
It's about being so deeply connected to your purpose that it resonates with others.
And inspires them to join your movement.
So how do we take these lessons from the Colosseum and apply them to the real world? How can our listeners start incorporating these principles?
That's a great question. I think a good starting point is to revisit that challenge that Spence gives us. What are you fighting for?
Take some time to really reflect on your why, the driving force behind your work.
And once you have a firm grasp on that, think about how you can communicate it more effectively.
How can you infuse your message with that passion and purpose?
Because it's not just about what you do, it's about why you do it.
And don't be afraid to think outside the box when it comes to sharing your story.
Yeah, look for those unexpected connections. Those surprising parallels that will make your message stand out.
Just like Carma Spence did with Gladiator.
She found a way to connect these seemingly disparate worlds and create something really special.
And while most of us aren't gladiators in the literal sense, we all face challenges, we all have battles to fight.
And those experiences, those moments of struggle and triumph, those are the raw materials for a powerful story.
It's about finding the courage to share those stories authentically.
To let people see the real you. The doubts, the fears, the victories.
Because it's in those moments of vulnerability that true connection happens.
And that's how you build authority that's not just respected, but truly magnetic.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's like we're getting business advice from ancient Rome.
Right. Who would have thought that a movie like Gladiator could have so much to teach us about building authority?
But it's true. I think what Carma Spence does so well is that she taps into those universal archetypes and narratives.
The ones that have resonated with us for centuries.
Yeah, like the desire to connect, to inspire, to lead. It's all in there.
And by making these parallels between the gladiatorial arena and the business world.
She makes it so much more memorable and actionable.
Definitely.
So as we wrap up our deep dive today,
Yeah.
I want to leave our listeners with one final thought from Carma Spence.
Okay, go for it.
She says that authority isn't something you claim, it's something you earn.
So how do we earn it? Especially in today's world where it's so noisy and crowded.
I think it goes back to those gladiator qualities we were talking about.
Courage, authenticity, commitment.
The ability to captivate and inspire an audience.
It's about stepping into that arena and being the leader you were born to be.
Not the one you think you should be.
And never stop honing your craft.
So to all the deep divers out there, go forth and build your empires.
Empires of influence, of impact, of genuine human connection.
And remember, the journey might be tough.
But the rewards are worth fighting for.
Until next time, stay curious and keep diving deep.